Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, Apple Valley, California, in the studio rather than, well, the backyard is like 10 feet away. So,
And it's
we're
kind of
close.
outside. But we are still the Science and Technology channel, no matter where we broadcast from.
We love science and technology. We're going to stick it for you. All right. Not good news for people about dementia again. It's just kind of sad. I think it's kind of sad. A study by Geneva University Hospitals, HUG, not making that up, and the University of Geneva, UNIGE, UNIGE, has found that the adult brain affected by attention deficit disorder with or without hyperactivity, ADHD, shows changes similar to those seen in individuals with dementia. Compared to healthy individuals, adults diagnosed with ADHD were found to have increased iron accumulation in specific brain regions and elevated levels of neurofilament light chain, NFL, in their blood, both of which are biological markers commonly associated with age-related dementias, including Alzheimer's disease. Not good. These findings suggest a possible neurological link between ADHD and a heightened risk of developing dementia later in life. The study, published in Psychiatry and Clinical Neurosciences, provides the first evidence of a shared biological mechanism that may underlie both conditions. Would you like to know more?
ADHD is a common neurodevelopmental disorder that affects approximately 3.5% of adults, according to a 2008 World Health Organization report, which, again, I'm not a real big fan of them after the whole COVID Wuhan thing, but whatever. It's all we got, right? It is typically characterized by difficulties in sustaining attention, along with excessive hyperactivity and impulsivity. While symptoms often begin in childhood, impacting academic performance and social development, they can persist into adulthood, interfering with daily functioning and quality of life.
Yeah, so my wife insists that I have ADD, but I think she's just projecting that on me. I think she, and if she's listening, honey, you're the one who has ADD. All right, you're just projecting that on me.
Okay, so you left out one of the letters. So you're not hyperactive?
No, I'm not hyper. I'm very mellow. And my wife is not hyper either. She just has trouble focusing.
Oh boy.
You tell her I said that, I'm going to deny it, okay?
Well, I don't have to tell her. If she's a listener, she's going to find out before she gets home tonight. So, and then we'll see. We'll see who's hyper or not.
Anyway. I should have thought about that before I said that. Are you trying to give me the double talk?
No, sir. I would not do that.
Okay. Old age related.
I'm bad enough on my own stuff. I don't need to be promoting it with other people. So,
old age related dementias affect about 55 million people globally. Well, I mean, globally, I guess that's not much, but it's still too much. With almost 10 million new cases each year, according to WHO statistics from 2023. Alzheimer's disease represents 60 to 70% of these dementia cases. Ooh. Recent quote, this is a quote, recent epidemiological studies show that adults suffering from ADHD have an increased risk of dementia at an advanced age, but the mechanism through which ADHD constitutes a risk is not known, states Professor Paul G. Unschuld, head of the Division of Geriatric Psychology at the HUG, associate professor in the Department of Psychiatry at the UNIGE, faculty of medicine, and the initiator of the study. He's got a big title there.
Big title. Glad it's shortened, right?
Yeah, better than him than me.
Yeah, the research team used an advanced brain imaging method known as quantitative susceptibility mapping, QSM, through magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, okay, to examine iron content in the brain of 32 adults between 25 and 45 years of age affected by ADHD and 29 healthy individuals in the same age bracket. Neurofilament light chain protein, NFL, which we mentioned earlier, protein levels in the blood of the participants were measured in parallel. So
Yeah,
Okay.
not to this is 32 and 29, so that's not a big group, so we'll
Right.
take this with a grain of salt, I guess.
But maybe that's all the kind of, maybe that's as many people as they thought they could handle with this
Maybe.
ADHD.
Definitely need more testing, though. The results of the study reveal notable differences in iron distribution in several regions of the brain of the individuals affected by ADHD. Furthermore, a significant association was established between iron levels in the precentral cortex and NFL levels in the blood. Iron plays an essential role in normal brain functioning, but its excessive accumulation may cause neuronal damage and lead to neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. Quote, excess iron in certain regions of the brain is often observed and is associated with increased oxidative stress that furthers neuronal degeneration, specifies Professor Paul Unschuld.
In parallel, the NFL is an indicator of neuronal damage in the brain, more specifically of neuronal axons, which are essential for nerve transmission. High blood levels of the NFL reflect axon damage in the brain. Consequently, an increased brain iron and NFL levels may indicate an underlying neurodegenerative pathology and an increased risk of neurodegenerative dementia at old age. These results confirm that a link exists between ADHD and an increased risk of dementia at old age, identifying the first neurological mechanism.
You know,
So,
my wife and I were talking about this. Back in the 40s and the 50s, you just did not see attention deficit disorder, right?
what they call it other stuff.
What?
Maybe so. Maybe they called it other stuff. And I
Maybe.
and I don't think there was that many people. It's like the group special needs kids or special needs students. When I was going to school, granted, when I was going to school back in elementary school, uh, our school was relatively small. There were a lot of elementary schools up here, but ours was relatively small. And there was maybe 6 or 8, maybe 10 kids in our whole elementary school that were in a special needs class. When I started driving a school bus, I think I mentioned this before, there were about, I don't know, under 300 kids. 12 years later, over 500 kids. Uh,
Yeah,
that's a
so
big
the point my
difference.
wife was trying to make was that she's thinking that there's some preservatives or something put in the food that is driving this, or maybe in diet sodas or something that's driving this prevalent ADD, ADHD.
Could be, but if that's the case, why aren't whole families of kids that way instead of just maybe 1 or 2 kids out of a large group of kids in a family? I don't know. I
Well,
definitely,
so like my sister-in-law, she has one, two, 3 out of 5 of her kids are, on the spectrum, autism, but the other 2 aren't. So maybe it doesn't affect every single, child. You know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. But it's, a lot of it I think also has to do with it. It's just easy to say, oh yeah, you can't sit still for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You're ADHD or AD, whatever, ADD. But yet, if you stick them in front of a TV watching a cartoon or a movie, um, they're sitting there watching it for 50 to 60 to 90 minutes
Yeah, good point.
without moving. So
Really
I don't know.
good point.
I think
Cameron's
it's
like that.
yeah, I think it's a lot of just a lot of the way the kids are either raised or what they focus on. You
Yeah.
know, some kids focus on activities outside, tearing around a playground. You don't think about it. You bring them in the house, they still tear around in the house. Maybe that's a little bit of an issue. But like I said, if you stick them in front of a device or a TV, they're focused on that. So again,
That's a really interesting analogy. Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, continuing the study, these discoveries pave the way for new research into understanding why persons with ADHD may be at increased risk of dementia. Professor Paul Unschuld believes that the information provided by the study, quote, will enable targeted prevention strategies to be developed to reduce the risk of dementia in persons affected by ADHD. This is especially important since there is a well-known correlation between lifestyle and altered iron levels in the brain. To achieve this, additional longitudinal studies are required in order to determine if a reduction of iron levels in the brain is potential treatment pathway for preventing dementia at advanced age in persons with ADHD, end quote.
Furthermore, the relationship between ADHD and dementia underlines the importance of early detection of these diseases. It also highlights the importance of proactive management of ADHD in adults, not only to improve quality of life for individuals, but also to prevent long-term consequences on cognitive health. So, yeah, I mean, I know I've known people that for a number of years and they were fine, and then just something started to go awry. And I don't know, it's hard to explain just why that happens. No change in diet, no change in activities, just starting to shut down, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope we can crack the code on this, with
Definitely.
science. Yeah,
it's brutal. And I think it's brutal more for the people that are watching it happen rather than the people that are going through it.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
they're in their reality, right? And then the rest of us are just watching it, and we want to bring them back, and it's tough.
Yep.
So,
all right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the afternoon.
take care, everyone. Thank you.